Welcome back to Big Mama's house, y'all. I am sitting here today with Papa and Lizard,
Yo, yo, yo!
and I'm going to let you all know now everything you're going to hear from here on is our own personal opinions and beliefs. You don't have to agree with us. That's totally fine. We'd love to hear your side of things if you disagree, but let's please try to do so respectfully and
Honestly,
with an open mind to each other, because I like to hear other people's points of view and like try to figure out why they think that way and what's the and that's what we're trying to do here too, is just let people know where we stand, and if any of you agree with us, we'd like to hear about that too. So we are going to talk about what did you want to call this episode?
um, shoot.
Today's America.
Yeah, today's America, basically. Yeah, it's about Trump, and his
Break
indictment
up the country.
and his indictment. Yeah, about him getting actually not his indictment, but him actually getting arrested today.
Well, I was so excited when he was indicted because that is a huge step forward in hopefully getting his ass in jail. I personally believe that all of his dirty dealings over the years, he should have been in prison a long time ago.
Yes.
But, that green monster that runs the country,
We talked about it in the last episode. Where the green is greed. That's all it is.
and it makes people evil.
Yep. And he's
Or
got
their
plenty of
actions
greed
evil.
and green. So
Well, he likes people to think he's got plenty of
yeah,
green.
we don't ever see his tax returns or anything, so we don't know.
But I know that everyone here has strong feelings, but we're going to try to be respectful. Now, I'm respectful of other people's beliefs, not of Trump himself, because he's a piece of shit.
I don't respect people who are cold about Trump, though.
Well,
There's a difference between a Republican and then
A
a
Trump
Trump
again.
supporter. No, Trump supporter. There's a big difference between them. There are the
like, how would he not also get indicted and arrested for inciting the,
That's coming up.
is it coming?
Yeah, they were talking about that today.
And I will tell everyone, ever since I have been dealing with really bad pain issues and stuff the last year or so, the last election, I mean, we watched every debate, every town hall, every discussion. Like, we knew more about it than probably a lot of the, news affiliates out there that were talking about it.
A lot of research.
But this time, like, pain that never ends and it's bad is very, very depressing and down. And like, I can't even watch TV shows like I love This Is Us and A Million Little Things and Grey's Anatomy. I can't watch those anymore either because I got enough depression and like issues in my own life that bring me down. I want to watch happy things. So I cannot watch the news. I don't want to know about all the political shit anymore because
Affects us.
I know that, love, but I try, and all it does is make me angry, and then it makes me depressed about our country and where we live, and I just don't want to because I hurt, and I'm already got enough, sad in my life.
Do you know how we can make America great again? By putting Trump in prison.
I 100% agree with that.
That's how we can make America great again.
I firmly agree.
He's been found, he hasn't been found guilty or anything yet. It says this.
The grand jury said there was enough
evidence to
go to trial.
Arrest him for 37 counts.
Yep.
Of the FBI documents. And all he had to do was say, "Oh, oops, I made a mistake. Take the boxes back." But what he did was he just was being Trump,
Yep.
and he's like, "They're mine." He's like a little kid with a Lego, all right, and be like, "No, this is mine. This is mine. All right, just give them back. They're not yours."
and the whole
And he shouldn't have them to begin
He
with.
did not declassify them. No, he even said that in a video. Now, if he declassified them, then he could have them.
Right.
But he didn't declassify them. He even
took
said that in a video.
classified documents away from the secure area and
News about our allies, information about our allies that he could give to our enemies. That's in those documents.
let's be honest.
I'm not going to say it out loud, but North Korea and Russia seem like somebody just.
Let's be honest. He's already had someone fax those documents of Vladimir Putin. I have no doubts. that Putin has some kind of access to those documents before the FBI got it.
And the one thing that makes no sense to me is the fact that they did not restrict travel for him. He can go, he's got lackeys in every country probably,
Especially Russia.
and North Korea. And I just don't understand.
Because he's Trump and he has a cult following and his money.
And it's just
Yep.
that's the thing right there is why I just can't with the news anymore. Because it infuriates me and it depresses me about why that's okay in 2023 in America. Any other country in the land, they'd probably chop his fucking head off.
If any of us have done what he has done, there would not be like
one count.
one count would have gotten us in prison.
Yeah, we wouldn't even
Not a white collar either.
Nope. No club bed where he might go.
Yep. So I mean, America is not fair. I mean,
the land of the free, my ass.
it is. It's only free if you have money. Then it's free. If it's a regular Joe, regular Jolene or anything like that, they're not. It's not free for us.
Absolutely not.
I think we need to take a help, like some example from the French, and go with off with their heads.
I agree with that.
Remember, all this started the country stuff with the Revolutionary War, where there was nationalists and loyalists. The Trump supporters are loyalists, and they're all delusional.
And they don't care about.
They only care about the rich. Everyone else can die, and they don't give a shit.
And almost none of them are rich. None of them.
Yeah, none of them are rich. They fly the Confederate flag, which I have no idea what the meaning of the Confederate flag means.
Oh, you mean his followers?
No, his followers.
Gotcha.
His followers. Exactly.
Not Republicans. We're not talking about Republicans here. We're talking about Trump supporters.
The Republicans, there are good ones.
This is it. This is kind of an ironic joke, but there's literally a wall separating Republicans and Trump supporters from being connected. They're not the same.
I completely agree.
One is delusional, and one actually is willing to hear some facts about politics.
Here's the thing: if you're a Republican, all right, and you are supportive of Trump, say you're a Republican in office right now, like the Marjorie Taylor Greens, Mitch McConnell's. I'm not sure where he stands, but he was with a big Trump supporter way back in the day.
All of them were
Jordan,
8 years ago.
Matt Gaetz, all those imitation, Lauren Boebert, okay, all those young imitation type politicians, who would support Trump. Shame on you for supporting somebody like this.
They were just following whoever was leading.
Well, and those people, all right, that I just named, if they ever run for president, they most likely will not win, because I believe that the Trump support is dwindling down. I don't think he's got the support that he used to have.
Well, Pence himself that he didn't think that Trump would get the
exactly
Republican nomination.
City Hall they just had.
The town
hall they just had last week. Yeah.
So I mean, and that's his
former vice president,
buddy.
But his followers wanted to hang Pence, at the January 6th, riot.
The
is what I'm going to
insurgent.
call it. I'm going to call it riot. Okay. And they wanted to hang him. So, I mean, why would Pence want? I mean, he's still a Republican. And he's still a robot.
And Trump is the one who incited it all.
Yep.
And people say, no, he didn't. You want to know, he was right there. He was not in the Capitol. He was outside, pointing his followers where to go.
He was in a tent outside on the lawn of the White House. Okay. He was in a tent with his daughter, with his son-in-law, all right, with his son and his son's wife.
Yep.
Don Jr. and his wife. Eric was there. Ivana was there. Ivanka was there. Melania was there. All the bad Trumps were there.
Yep.
Okay. They even had a video of it on TV. Watching it on a console, on a TV. Watching all this happen.
Well, he's still tweeting.
And was he out there going, "Hey, everybody, this isn't the way to get things done. You need to stop."
No, he incited it at the beginning
Yep.
by saying, take matters in your own hands, basically.
He was still tweeting about it, good job, guys.
And he said, "Oh, there's some good people there." No, there's not. There was not one good person in that riot. Those people that stormed the White House. Maybe there was some people
With mob mentality at its worst.
Maybe there was some a good person or two that didn't go into the Capitol. All right, that stayed out there like, well, this ain't for me. I'm going to stay out here. Maybe so. But the ones that stormed the Capitol, that killed the police officers, that threatened, all the politicians in there, they're not good at all.
Well, and some of the bystanders got shot.
Some of the politicians actually let them in and gave them a tour. Marjorie Taylor Greene actually let them in, and they were actually heckling. I forget who it was. Was it? It was like. Oh, it was she was Speaker of the House. What was her name? She's really old. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She was heckling her outside her door. Luckily, she wasn't in her office. They actually had video of this, and she kept knocking on the door, right, with these two white supremacist dudes. Okay, and they're just, you could tell they're white supremacists because of the way they act.
They're Nazis.
They're Nazis.
White supremacists are Nazis.
Hitler.
The same people who would have followed Hitler in World War II.
Well, Trump is Hitler.
Yeah, the whole thing that, and they said this is for America. It's not for America.
It's for Trump.
It's just for Trump, and that's not about America. We got rid of kings, and we don't need another.
He thinks he's a king, and he's
Like, even in like, no country has a world tour that's actually working as the main status. Like the UK a royal family is just basically for tourism. That's
You
a
know what
tourist
gets
spot.
me is some of my friends. I used to bowl with, people in this area support him, and they're disabled. They're on Social Security, and he wants to get rid of all that. He wants to get rid of Social Security.
And he's the one who's been defunding and short staffing these important like government offices to the fact that right now that you can't get anything done.
Yeah.
Like the IRS is slower than it was before he was in office. Disability is slower when he was in office. Food stamps,
Post office.
post office is COVID.
not just that. FEMA,
Yep.
the CDC,
There's a reason
the
why
emergency
COVID lasted so
response
long.
people, all of them.
Like COVID would have been like I swear.
And
COVID
and
would've
don't get
been
me started
nixed
on him in COVID because, wow,
We wouldn't have had COVID if Obama was in office.
He literally
exactly.
fired the entire pandemic team that would have handled this
Yep.
right before he left. I miss Obama's America, where things actually got done, but things were solved, and no one was posting on Twitter.
And it was a moderate view on things. He wasn't far right. He wasn't far left.
He's like Biden.
He was just trying to make things better for people who needed it to be better. And I don't see why raising the taxes on the ultra rich is such a bad thing. Explain to me why somebody who has $10 billion or more can't afford to pay a few extra million a year in taxes, considering they probably don't pay anything right now.
Yeah, it's that trickle down economy that they're
Trickle down is a fucking joke, and anybody who wants to argue with me about that, bring it on, because it does not work.
There's
Listen,
no trickle down.
I have if you make less than $1 million a year, you shouldn't be saying anything about the taxes for the rich because you are not in that tax bracket that they're talking about.
That's right.
Well, they actually said six figures. I think it was like 700,000 or something like that. What they're talking about. Still, nobody around here makes that.
No one 99% of America doesn't make that.
Yeah, nobody that I work with, nobody I know makes that money.
But 1% has more wealth than all the other 99% put together. And that's not, I mean, I don't have a problem with people making money. If you got some great thing and you can build a business and make your fortune, awesome. God bless you. However, you have to be able to, as a Christian, my firm belief, since they are using Christianity for the basis of most of their arguments, you have to pay it forward, basically. Right. You, again, like I talked about in the last podcast, leave it better than you found it. Don't be greedy. Don't hoard things. You help the ones around you that you can. And for people to not get that and argue against that, I cannot grasp that concept. I just can't. Mentally, religiously, in any shape or form, none of that makes any sense to me.
People forget that even in the Bible, Jesus found a temple who was hoarding money and not helping the poor and using it for their corruption and their own needs.
That's right.
He braided a whip himself, made it himself, and was whipping the people in charge of that temple.
Yep.
Who chased them out. And people are like, oh, well, the Bible follows him. No, he'd be the one whipping Trump out of the Congress building. He'd be in that tent attacking him.
Yes, he would.
That'd be funny. I could see that. That'd be great.
And people are like, Like, oh, well, he's a great man. He is not. He is not here for you. He's not here for his followers.
They even said that earlier. In fact, I don't know a former president who has like less friends, as they leave the presidency than Trump.
Yep.
Okay, I mean, he had people. Chris Christie was a supporter of Trump. No
Huge
more.
one. Yeah.
Mike Pence was his VP. Can't stand him anymore. Then he have some of his press secretaries that was on CNN earlier. All right, they can't stand him. They even said that Donald Trump wants you to be loyal to him, but he won't be loyal to you.
So,
Absolutely.
he was right about one thing. His followers are stupid. Okay, uneducated, but
Yes.
he was calling all Trump supporters stupid, and that's why they follow him.
And when I say all, because some out there,
I don't believe in all.
At
Yeah.
this point, if you're following
not
Trump,
100%.
you're stupid. No offense.
After seeing what he did for 4 years
Nothing.
and everything the only thing he promoted was hate and separation and bigotry
and
and-
racism.
and sexism and
You pick on disabled
thinking
people.
it's okay to sexually assault someone. All these
And the women that support him.
you guys, I can't. I don't even have words to describe. I mean, this is why I can't do the news and all this shit, because it gets me so upset.
This is why we're having this episode, all right? Because we want everybody knows by now. You all have your opinions out there of why you support them and why you don't support them.
Yeah.
All right. We're not trying to change anybody's views.
No. Because we know at this point there's no change.
We're letting you know our views.
Yes.
Okay. And we're not saying Republicans are bad. We're not saying Democrats are good or bad. We're saying Trump is bad.
I mean, me personally, if it was a place on the ticket that would actually win, I'm more an independent than anything else. But independents are never going to win.
If there would be a Republican, all right, that had our beliefs, I would vote for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like,
I have nothing against Republicans. Okay.
It's the individual people who are Republicans
Yes.
that give it a really bad name.
Like if Chris Christie would actually be more of a decent person. Right now he's just going on a Trump hate tour. He's not even telling anybody
because
what
he
his
knows
plan
that's
is.
what people want to hear.
But that's the thing. I on a town hall that he has, I want to hear his views. I want to hear. I mean, yeah, you go ahead and slam Trump for 5-10 minutes, whatever, because you have an hour and a half town hall. All right, so you get an hour and 20 minutes to tell me your views. All right, tell me what you're going to do if you become president.
Exactly.
That's what I want to hear. Yeah, we all
Or either
we all
that,
love the
or
Trump
they
thing.
all say the exact same thing.
Pence and Haley, they all said the same. They both said the same thing.
Almost word for word.
Or almost word for word. Yes.
And it's like,
I have no time for either one of them.
and it's all bullshit. They're only telling people what they want to hear. I mean, okay.
And they're not going to do anything to change anything.
The one thing about Trump, you knew exactly where he fucking stood. At least,
Unfortunately, yes.
it was
for him.
It was a place that he stood was on a pile of shit, but he stood there and he was at least honest.
Yeah. And he was honest. He said, I stood in a pile of shit.
Yep. And he's like, and you all love me anyway. You love that stink.
He even said that he could kill somebody in the middle of the street and he'd still have supporters. He even said that in an interview.
Yeah, and it's true.
Yep.
If he killed someone brown.
I don't think it matters.
Or gay. Or trans.
No, I don't think it matters. I think he could have killed anybody and any race, any gender, any. And his supporters would still support him.
They find some reason to be like, make it okay.
Exactly. They'd be like, all the other presidents do it. They'd say something stupid. Even though a lot of them are very uneducated, like you said, they're ignorant. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm not gonna ever go say they're stupid. They're ignorant, yes, and they're uneducated. Uneducated means, they don't know the information.
Yes.
That's what uneducated means. I'm not saying they're stupid. I'm not saying they didn't go to school, they're failures, whatever. But when
they're
it comes,
ignorant.
they're blind when it comes to Trump.
They're willfully ignorant, though. They're not willing.
And they're willfully blind.
See, they were after Hillary Clinton and her emails, which she was cleared from. All right. But now they're okay with Trump having actual documents, all right, that could hurt this country.
Yep.
But there are, I mean, I don't even know what's been on Hillary's emails at all. I mean, why would she have
And after you're done being president, what purpose would having those documents serve besides doing something nefarious?
You blackmail.
especially locked in your
That's what I'm
bathroom?
saying, something nefarious.
They were locked in his bathroom, Mar-a-Lago bathroom.
Because I guess he thought no one else would go in there.
Well, there's like a bunch of bathrooms there, of course,
Right.
but that was probably closed down. But still, why would you have that stuff at one of your resorts? Where you have?
Why would you bring it out of the office?
Why would you have
a secure government facility wherever you got it from?
Why would you have a period? Right?
Exactly. There's no purpose for him to have it after he's president, except for nefarious purposes.
No innocent person would take.
And there was no reason for him to even have it outside of whatever office he was in to his house. Even if he was president, he had no reason, because again, he was supposed to be at the White House, living as the president. There's no reason to bring documents home. This isn't just like an office work where you're like, oh, I'm gonna bring this home and finish it up.
Yeah.
No, this wasn't homework. He probably never even did
He
homework.
didn't even take it to his home in New York. He took it to his stupid hotel.
In Florida,
Of course, he chose Florida because Florida,
Mar-a-Lago.
the DeSantis is in charge of Florida, and that's why.
Well, we're not going to get that point. I see what you're saying. But I mean, nothing good. It can come out of. I know, yeah, Biden had some too. But Biden gave him his. He gave them hers. Same with Pence. Pence had some too, but Trump had more, and Trump didn't want to let it go. For some strange reason, Trump did not want to give those boxes back to the FBI.
Well, yeah, because he knew, number one, he'd lose whatever leverage he was using it for. And number two, he was going to get in trouble.
I mean,
So it's been 3 years since he's been president.
he should have gotten in trouble anyway. Whether you give it back or not, he should have still got in trouble. He should get in more trouble now, and he should actually go to prison because he could be considered a spy.
He is a spy.
I mean, he wasn't found. He wasn't found guilty of anything.
I have no doubt
What
that
I'm
he's
saying,
All of this
Who
is
not-
allegedly.
Exactly. It's allegedly that he could be tried as a spy, found guilty as a spy for Russia, North Korea, China, any of those other countries that hate us.
Yep. China owns more of the United States than we do, I think.
But China hates us. So I mean, and I don't think Trump's a money guy. And if China's like, hey, do you have anything that we can use against USA, against America? Trump be like, yeah, here you go. How much? Even though he picks on China all the time, he calls it the China virus and everything. He picks them all the time. He's a person that he's a bad guy. He is a villain in a DC or Marvel movie.
And let's not forget, like just recently,
Super villain.
they had to raise the debt ceiling. And I put out when Obama was in office, he lowered the debt.
Yep.
And then Trump skyrocketed
And
back
didn't
up.
have to reduce the programs for the people, like the elderly, the disabled, children, things like that.
Cut programs and yet still cause so much debt for this country.
Don't be laying on no facts now.
People don't like facts.
But this is my opinion.
No, that's facts.
Trump is a hateful, bigoted, stupid, selfish man. And anyone
I think he's also a rapist.
He is.
Allegedly.
You can't say that he did, like Harvey Weinstein, wasn't it?
Yes.
You can't convince me that he didn't know about it or was part of it as a
All
billionaire.
them rich dudes did all that shit. Underage girls and, sexually assaulting people. And it's, disgusting.
Yeah, but that's locker room talk, babe.
Don't get me, again.
I know.
Let's just
I'm
stick
just
to the
saying,
current
no,
things.
I know, but this all adds up to.
I know, and that's why it's like from the very get-go, we're like, how? When he said he was running for president, I was like, okay, yeah, right. And I said, I looked at you and I was like, that's never gonna happen. People are not gonna vote for this asshole.
Do you know where all this started? At the roast.
Yep.
Donald Trump.
And that's when he said he was gonna run for president.
Yep, that was at the Comedy Central roast.
And that's when I looked at you and I was like, this got to be a joke. There's no way. And then the nightmare continued.
And it's still continuing to this day.
And all I want and all you want, I know, because we say it on a daily, is for him to be convicted. I don't care if he spends 1 second in prison. I just want to make sure he's a convicted felon so he can't run for president or any other office ever again.
Can't even vote. Because he can't, as a convicted felon, can't even vote.
Nope. And I mean, that would serve his ass right. And I mean, don't get me wrong. If he was in prison, I'd be so damn happy. I wouldn't even care.
Party.
Yes, I would throw a fucking barbecue. You know, just like at the whole, I don't like any of our neighbors. I'd invite them all. Be like, yeah.
We would like go to a local park, buy a bunch of meat, and just
I don't even have any money for any of that shit, but for a Trump prison party,
we would post on our accounting pages like Trump's in prison party.
Well, there is news today. They were saying on CNN that his attorneys could actually draw this out right until after the election in 2024.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and if that happens and he gets elected somehow as president, he could be pardoned from all these charges and nothing else will be done to him.
Honestly, he's like an abusive ex-husband who won't let go of his wife.
I don't know the Constitution or the rules, anything like that.
That's what it's on there.
Can a president pardon themselves?
Well, I mean, he won't be pardoned, but a president can't be convicted. A current sitting president, right, cannot be convicted.
And I would be so happy if the FBI were standing outside his door the day his presidency ended and be like, all right, motherfucker,
No,
we waited 4 years. Your ass is going down.
We're not going to get to that point. I don't want Trump in office ever again.
None of us do. None of us at this table do. No.
You know,
this is the kind of stuff that just...
I am not a violent person. You know this. I don't like hitting or... I don't like violence. Long history with
I know.
my childhood and whatever. But...
I would be violent towards Trump.
I would... How do I say this without getting arrested? I would be okay if he didn't exist anymore. I'd be totally okay. And I'm not that kind of person. You know, I try not to wish ill on anyone. I try my very best to like be kind, you know. But the man is pure evil, and I can't understand how he's still walking and breathing.
This is for whoever listens, any of the FBI, whatever. We do not have the money to do any harm to. We are normal people.
I literally couldn't pull a trigger.
Normal house of America. But
these are just my wishes.
But if something happened to Trump, just like let's just say a bullet to the head,
we wouldn't be sad.
No, that would be. We personally could not do anything.
No.
That requires someone else.
We don't even own a gun.
It requires someone else who has way more power, way more money.
Yeah, like the CIA.
Right?
That brings up another thing.
Yeah.
We need to redo the Second Amendment.
Oh my God. Well, that's a whole different episode.
Well, you brought up the gun thing.
That's a different episode, but the
whole Constitution should be written.
Thank you. I was getting ready to say the exact same thing. The entire Constitution was an amazing world-altering document when it was written a couple hundred years ago.
We need to make
back when guys were wigs.
Okay,
and tights.
Yeah.
You know how the Old Testament, the New Testament basically went with the Old Testament and, things got changed? We need that for the Constitution. Let's make the new Constitution and make it more modern.
The only way the Second Amendment pertains to you right now is if you own a musket. Okay? If you don't own a musket, the Second Amendment does not pertain to you any longer. Because that's what it was made for, was a musket, not an AR.
Let's be honest. Some people should not have guns.
Musket's fine because it takes you 10 minutes to reload.
But here's the thing, okay? When it was written, okay, we didn't have a military.
No.
We didn't even have a navy until after World War II?
No,
World War One.
Air Force wasn't until World War II.
Okay, the Air Force wasn't World War II, but our Navy wasn't even like that big until after World War One, I don't think.
Yeah, I think back then we just had farmers.
But when the Constitution was written, there was no military at all.
We had farmers.
Which is why they had to be able to form their own militia.
Exactly.
To defend their towns or their state or territories or whatever.
To notify the government saying, hey, we need help. So, of course, they need to handle themselves.
With muskets.
Right? They had like bayonets and muskets. That's what they had.
I dare any one of you prove to me that you can refill a musket, all clean it out, reloading it quick enough, faster than a assault rifle. I did. If you can do it before you get shot by that assault rifle, I'll be like, okay, got a point. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, we don't own a gun.
for several reasons. Like, I have nothing against gun owners in general. Do not get me wrong. I grew up, my dad was a construction worker. In the winter, he hunted so they could eat because he didn't work a lot in the winter. So I have nothing wrong with hunters, people who hunt to eat or, survival, things like that. Not that that is a thing a lot of people do nowadays, but I have
Well,
no
you still
issue
got
with
some
it.
hunters out there.
I have no issue with people having it for home protection, personal protection, whatever.
A handgun.
Yeah, handgun, rifle, whatever.
You don't need something
You
to
do not need an AR, an AK, anything with an automatic that you can spit out a couple hundred bullets in less than a minute. That is not necessary.
Yep.
And if you need that to go deer hunting, you need to stay out of the woods. Okay? If you want it just for quote unquote fun, what is going to happen when someone breaks into your house and steals it and uses it to kill a school full of children?
Or your family.
Or your family. Your view will change really quickly, I promise. And if you're saying, "Oh, well, I got a gun and I carry it everywhere because that way I can save everybody," okay. There was there was a shooting and there was a guy there with a gun, and it was a police officer, and they waited outside.
That was a school shooting.
That's supposed to be down in Texas.
Yes.
Yep.
And they were blocking parents. Like, they were willing to use, show off their guns to the parents to stop them from going in, from saving their own children, because the police weren't going to go in there. They were literally blocking people from saving 5, 6-year-old children.
I really have nothing to say about that.
Okay, and yeah,
Nothing good.
no, and so
And guess what? That guy was able to get a gun as easy as anyone else.
And I know they say, "Oh, they're still gonna be able to find them on the black market." If you stop making them, except for the military, guess what?
That's what allowed to get them is the military.
You're not going to be able to get them on the black market because they won't exist.
You have ex-military, right? That's selling.
Yep. Gun shows are the biggest loophole in the laws that anyone has ever seen.
Yep.
And you know what? That's the government's fault. Every shooting that has happened since Columbine is the government's fault.
But none of them have any answer.
The blood of every one of those people is on
Children, all those children. Because there's been so many school shootings.
Yeah, Sandy Hook in Texas, and I know there's a lot of them, guys, and I apologize, I don't know more.
And those public shootings again, that could be your mom, your aunt, your grandma.
Sitting in a church, sitting in a movie theater, at the mall.
Your 13-year-old going to the mall could get shot up tomorrow, and you would not be able to do anything about it because
your grandparents, your parents, your spouse, your children, your best friend.
You go. The moment you walk out of your house, your risk of getting shot goes up exponentially. The percentage goes from maybe being even in your own home. People who just shoot up your house. There are people who are just in their house and get shot through their actual wall.
We have a story about a gun thing, and we're going to talk about that in an episode when we talk about all the crazy shit that's happened to us whenever we try to do everything or anything fun in life. There's a lot of stories. And you guys are not going to believe the crazy shit that we happen to run into whenever we go places. And that's why we're a little paranoid. And maybe when you hear that episode, you will understand the paranoia a little bit better.
I'm also a little mentally ill, so.
Well, we know, Lizard, that you are schizophrenic and bipolar, but you are medicated.
And let's point out, I am a paranoid schizophrenic with bipolar disorder and PTSD. I am able to go to any gun shop and buy a gun. I could go to Walmart today and I could buy a gun.
And let me tell you, y'all, nobody wants Lizard to have a gun.
Not even Lizard.
I could get off my meds and I could just buy a gun. They won't know. They don't care. It's a sale to them. I don't have a felony. I have no criminal charges. So I must be okay to have a gun. And I'm also the same person who says Trump supporters suck and the government is liars.
Well, I think that kind of brings a point to the entire thing. Thank you, Lizard. That was very succinctly said. I appreciate that. All right, guys. I know there's going to be a lot of strong feelings about this topic, and I hope we weren't disrespectful to anyone except for you Trump supporters, and I hope Jesus comes to you in a dream and tells you to stop being dumb.
Hope there's not too many Trump supporters that listen to this.
But if there are, I mean, please, please tell me why. No one can give me a really good reason except boss, but he's a good businessman.
He has got 7 failed businesses.
11 bankruptcies.
And he was in charge of a whole country, and the debt ceiling proved.
He ruined Atlantic City.
So, yeah, I would love to hear from you guys. If you can give me legit reasons why you support him, then I'm happy to have that conversation. We would love to address any of those things. Please let us know. Until next time, y'all.
Trump sucks at every aspect of his life.
Pretty much. Thank you, love.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. We'll see you back here at Big Mama's house next time. And even if you're a Trump supporter, you are welcome here. We accept you. We just try to understand. Have a good afternoon, y'all, and we'll see you next time.
Vote with your head.
Bye.